Would you run for president in reality? This is
Uh,
not like a campaign announcement, but
it might be. Nah, it's
it
not.
might be.
Nah, it's not.
Focus, strategizing, make each day a new horizon. Deeper diving, keep enlightening all these diamonds that I'm finding. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Voice Visions. We once again are here at Roots Miami Kava. I got my cup of kava right here with me, and I'm here with Lotus Hill, the great Lotus Hill. What's up, bro? How you been, man?
Been chilling, man. You know, grinding, working, plotting.
You
On
have.
the next move.
You have. Well, you've been on to many moves, releasing all these features, handing out features like crazy last couple months. And you've got an Anomaly out right now, which I had to run it back like 30 times because you guys flow so fast on that song. It's what was the other guy's name? I'm so
Halu.
sorry. Halu, yeah. Halu, right? Or Halu?
Halu.
Halu.
Yeah.
So you guys flow so fast on that track. I had to like run it back a couple times to really catch all the words and stuff. But it's definitely a dope track. How did that one come about?
Yeah, that one, our homie Louis, he produced the beat.
Nice.
And I think he sent a couple beats to Halu. And that was one of the ones that we ended up choosing to go on. I was like, oh, this is Lewis's beat? All right, say less.
Yeah.
It's hard, and we'll make something happen with it. We did.
Nice. No, and Louis V, you've also worked with him on a couple featured tracks on his project, right?
Oh, yeah, on his project,
Yeah.
on my project. He produced a lot of my music over
All
the
right,
years.
big shout out to Louis V, man.
Yeah.
He's got some dope vibes, man. Like,
He does.
big shout out to him, man. And
Got a project coming.
yeah,
Yeah, in June, me and him got a collab project coming.
nice.
It's like R&B,
R&B.
R&B vibes.
And so you could flow like pretty fast on a track, but you could slow it down and sing too. You know, like you said with the R&B vibes. Like, did that come out like very naturally since you started making music, or is it like a work in progress or something like that?
I mean, it's a work in progress either way, but it was
Okay.
always something that was there.
Okay.
I just never tapped into it as much as the actual lyrical rapping because it wasn't what I was trying to showcase at the time. But I've always loved it, and I've always known I wanted to along the line. And I guess now's the time, more than ever.
Okay. Yeah, man. You have is it Saudade or am I saying-
Saudade.
Saudade?
Saudade.
Saudade. Okay.
I might not even be saying it right. It's Portuguese.
And that was okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I guess, like a love EP, very not too R&B-ish. Like, not every song was R&B-ish, but it had that love, love story and
Yeah.
talking about that stuff. Was that specifically about one girl? Like, was it a Portuguese girl that got you feeling some type of way?
That's
like,
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
No. It wasn't a Portuguese girl, but it was a collective of different experiences
Okay.
that I put into, a 4-track project. So it
Okay.
was different experiences that I went through where I was just like, you know what, let me paint this. Let me paint this experience. Let me paint this certain interaction with this individual. And let me, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. And we recently worked on a track together, Timeless.
Sir.
And so, speaking of painting, I had noticed that you have like your rhyme book. So it's almost like you're painting. You're putting the pen to pad. You're on the canvas.
Yeah.
Have you always just been more comfortable writing on a pad rather than typing on your phone? You know?
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
Always. I've done it on my phone too, but
Okay.
even if I write it on my phone, I always end up transferring it to, pen and pad. There's just a different energy behind it. That, it's just different when you're writing it instead of typing it. Because you're still getting it out there, it's getting out of your thoughts, but just writing it is just like the actual act of. It's just different to me, and it always hits different, and it's good to have those artifacts, like you got
Right, you
stacks
can
of
always
books
come back
and
to
notebooks,
it.
yeah,
That's true.
So,
Like,
it's always nice.
if I were to, I don't know, get a new phone and I didn't have a certain song on my notes app, in the cloud, I might lose it. I might lose all that. So I guess that's cool. You have like
Yeah.
a really hard copy of all that stuff.
Yeah.
And speaking of hard copies and books, you've got an ebook out too.
Yeah, man.
Dude, so you're obviously you're a musician, you're an artist, but you're also an author. How did that come about, man? 'Cause there's not a lot of rappers out there writing books or doing ebooks.
Yeah, no, there isn't. I take a lot of pride in that because it was an idea that came about. I've always wanted to do some type of book, whether it be like a self-help book, whether it be like an abstract book, something with kids, you know. And this one ended up being just that, a kid's ebook. So it's like, you know, a picture on each page of the process of a lotus flower blooming. And it's like 20 pages with one rhyme each page. So it's like a little poetry book, but it's explaining the process of a lotus flower bloom.
Dope.
So it's like life lessons, but also very easy and interactive for the kid.
So you're for the kids, man. You're for the next generation. That's
man.
that's
Sure.
dope. I'll drink to that, man.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
Blue out of that. Yes, sir. Yeah, this pineapple comes in clutch too. I got to.
Definitely sweetens the approach of the kava. And I wanted to also give a big shout out to Roots Miami Kava, not just for providing the space for the episode, but thank goodness they're back to regular hours. So you guys can pop out and stay as late as you want. I'm just kidding.
Almost.
But regular hours, so we are now open, right, till 12.
Yeah.
So you gotta, I think before it was like till 11 or something like that.
11:30. No, they closed at 12, and now it's like 12:30 or 1.
Yeah, man.
don't know.
It's awesome. They don't have that, like, I don't know what to call it, but just that cloud hanging over them. Now they can actually function regularly back to regular schedule hours. They have their open mic every Wednesday, which you are definitely not, you are not new to that experience. Talk about your experience here at Roots, man. You're very connected to the roots, no pun intended.
Yeah, man. I've been coming here for a few years, and it's just been open arms since day one. A nice creative hub for like a whole bunch of creatives, and you meet new people. You get to practice and chisel on your craft, your performances, your just ideas, because you can write and connect and cipher and freestyle and meet with a whole bunch of just different people you would never meet anywhere else.
True.
So yeah, it just helped me grow into the artist I am today, in a sense. From the open mics to just the love that's shown here. So lots of love for Roots Miami Kava Bar.
I like that you said sculpt, like or chiseling, your craft and stuff, because that's really what it is here. Like, I've been coming here for a couple months now, a couple weeks, couple months, and the time has flown by, and I feel like every Wednesday I tell myself, like, okay, go perform, go do your thing, you got some homework to do, you gotta go home. But it never works out that way. I end up staying late always, just talking to the different artists here, and not just musical artists, but we got illustrators, we got all different types of creativity, creative minds here, and it's such a cool atmosphere to be. So again, big shout out to Miami Roots Kava. I wanted to kind of go back a little bit on, you told me you've been making music, or at least putting out music, since 2014, 2015, right?
Yeah, 2015.
You released King of the Hill. Was one of your first projects.
Yeah, 2016.
And it's amazing, like, this journey that I've been, like, discovering different artists, talking to them, and they have that one album, or they have that one project that really sticks out, like, oh wow, they really developed their sound, they really went from point A to point B. And again, this is not a knock, but it's like, I can't find that album for you. Like, you've been so consistent between each and every project, every single, every feature. And it's, it's an ode to your talent. I'm sure obviously the work behind the talent that's there.
Oh, yeah.
But King of the Hill, bro, is like, every song slaps. And then I'm like, okay, this guy's putting out a lot of music. I got to digest it all in such a short time. So I'm like, okay, so I finished that. Let's move on to the next album. And then it's like, okay. Like, it's just, you keep feeding the people this dope vibe, man, and it's really consistent. So I gotta give you props for that, bro.
Thanks, man. Snowballing, man. Just snowball growth. You know what I mean?
And you know, we can talk about growth too, bro, and you talk about that too, and you have your album Interstellar. You talk about self-growth a lot, tapping into who you really are. I love that, the concept of it, because I feel like a lot of people don't do that. And I was on Facebook earlier today. I'm scrolling down, and I saw this like post like, life isn't a race, it's an RPG. And a lot of people maxed out on the wrong stats. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying? They put in their work, their skill points, and they try to maximize, things that really aren't really gonna help them too much.
Especially in the long term.
It's interesting.
They think about the temporary, if anything, and then it just ends up like, where's your longevity? Where's that at? And turns out they didn't have any longevity because they focused on the short term other attributes. So they got fucking, it's just ass backwards sometimes.
Who's an artist or artist that really drew you into the hip hop, music and genre, growing up as a Fayetteville, right, in North Carolina?
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Like tell me about that. Like, you growing up listening to music. Who was that artist?
Yeah, I mean, when I was because I lived there till I was 14, so I wasn't too into music like I am when I got into high school. Yeah. But when I was over there, I listened to a lot of radio and 99 Jams and Foxy 99 is what it was called.
Okay.
Foxy 99.
Foxy 99.
Yeah, and a couple other stations. But I would always tune in and listen to theirs. So they would always play the Kanye. They would always play Aaliyah. They would play Ludacris. Pac, of course. Just the regular, dope artists that we hear on the radio all the time. And that's pretty much what I came up on until I started like going in myself and then seeing what's up. And then when I found the Coles, when I found the Kendricks, and I dove more into Eminem, not just his mainstream stuff, but the stuff they didn't play on radio.
They couldn't.
Yeah. I was like, yo, this is like a whole nother world right here. When I got more into Lil Wayne, like just a whole bunch of artists that not only did crazy shit with their words, but painted a story that I could connect with even if I was never there. I was like, yo, I feel him. And that's what music is, man. It's just that vibe that you put behind it. So I always appreciated them. They definitely got me into Kid Cudi,
yeah. You
main man right there.
You had a big shout out on Kid Cudi, one of your projects and stuff. Cudi to me is really one of the artists, besides Kanye, that's pushed mental health, addiction, all that stuff into the forefront. And it's funny, like the newer generation of hip hop, a lot of these artists, they celebrate the addiction and I feel like it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? They kind of like, I'm pop and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I can't get enough, and it's like, it sucks because there's young people that listen to that, they tap into that, and then they get stuck in that same boat. Yeah. And they're like, whoa, this is not as cool as I thought it would be.
Exactly. They just get sucked into it, to a lifestyle that they would have never ever thought about diving into if it wasn't popularized the way and glamorized the way it is. So we gotta start glamorizing the right stuff instead of like wet ass pussies.
Yeah.
Like give just some Lauryn Hill type shit, if anything, Not to knock Meg Thee Stallion or Cardi B, because I love Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B, honestly. They're dope, but as MCs and stuff. But there's other stuff that we can tap into and talk about to actually, just elevate more. And there's the same thing with the dudes. Come on, we can't always depend on the regular Cole and Kendricks and whoever to push it's like the savior of the people every single time. We need more of those.
Right.
Like, where's the Mos Defs? Where's the Talib Kweli's? Where's
the DMX's? Rest in peace. Yeah.
R.I.P. For real. Like, where are they? Nipsey's. Where are the Macs?
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, and I think like part of the issue is we have to find these people, and that's why that's why I'm doing this too. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people listening to, you know, the artists that have that negative energy and putting negative energy out there, but people need to be enlightened for the Lotus Hills, for the Pablo Grands, for the artists that put out the positive energy and kind of combat that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I try not to focus it on negative and positive either. Even though I do push positive. I try to push positive, but I try not to discredit the negative and alchemize it in a sense to, you know, vent it out, because you know you can't just shun away and sweep under the rug the negativity either. But it's also, you don't gotta glamorize it or put it out in a way that's gonna be, you know, just tainting people instead of, you know, like for example, DMX, like we just brought up right now. Some people could say he painted negativity, but that was his reality. Like even more modernized rappers, the drill rappers, like where they're talking about like just shooting niggas or robbing, like whatever. It's like some people call that negativity, but there's a fine line between just pushing the negative narrative and telling your story of where you came from, you know? And real ones can tell the difference, because if you really came up out of that shit, then that's not negativity, that's your story, you know? Whether it be negative or not, but you know, some people who never came out of that, they push it, and then it's just like, negative for what?
That's true.
You know, I didn't come up out of any crazy trenches or nothing, but you know, I can understand and respect that for sure.
No, as the wind blows, it's reacting, I think, to the energy you're putting out. I totally agree with that. There has to be a fine line too, and you know you can't shy away from negativity or just difficult subjects. You know, difficult experiences. You know, because you know, like you mentioned, the Max, the Kid Cudis. You know, that guys that put those negative experiences on paper or on a song, and it relates to people who've gone through that, and it helps them. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Kid Cudi and Mac are perfect examples too of painting negativity, but it's not negativity, it's their story and their venting, and it's coming from it's intention, bro. It's intention.
Right, it's the intention that matters. Yeah. That's what my mom always tells me. She always tells me that. Like it's the intention. It's the heart, you know.
Yeah, man.
So I remember getting into this like random argument as a little kid. You know, I would say a bad word. My mom would be like, "Hey, don't say that word," you know, whatever. Oh, but words are just words, and she'll just be like, "It's the intention. It's, you know, it's what you're putting behind it."
Oh man, it's the spell you're putting out with those words. The spell you're casting out into the world. You gotta put out good spells.
Right.
Bad spells.
You truly manifest stuff. You know.
No, it's real.
Yeah.
It's very, very real. It's very real. You just gotta be very aware. Every step.
And I wanted to ask you too, like speaking of steps and approaching success and all that, what to you is success? Like, where do you need to win an award for that? Do you need to be recognized, or you don't care, or like what? I guess to break down the question even more, like just how do you measure success? Like ultimate success, what would that be for Lotus Hill?
For me personally, and only me, because everybody's measure of success is different.
That's
but
true.
For me, you know, it's just to be stable, more than stable, to be like overabundant. Share that abundance. That would come with recognition on its own, of course, money, etc., like, which is the side stuff, but just stability after years of non-stability, doing what I want to do, the experiences I want to do, you know, like bucket list type shit, you know, living life right, that's the definition of success, like selling projects and, you know, making money off my music, and I can make my money strictly off my music and not have to worry about anything else and still, you know, make a livable wage. That's not the goal, but, you know, anything above that I would consider success. But my grand success, being overly abundant, man. All the 10,000 plus hours that I put into this, you know, coming into fruition and you know, spreading that love to those I feel who deserve it, and the world, man, in general. So.
Well, what would you give, like what kind of advice would you give for other creatives out there? They don't have to be necessarily rappers, but just other people who want to put out a creative energy. They don't know how to start. Like, what kind of advice would you give that person?
I would say do it. Like, do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Like,
Okay.
for real, like, there's a bunch of ways to say it, but, like, the simplest way is just do it. Like, don't let other people's doubts or, fears be pushed on you. Don't let yours be enhanced by overthinking shit. Just do it. And you will literally not know until you do it. And then once you find out you do it, then you can start, feeling however you want to feel, but at least you did it. And then from there you can be like, all right, this ain't for me, or oh, this is for me, or okay, this led me to something else that I may like. And it could be a vessel for something else. So just do it, and that intention, once again, that intention will open doors that wouldn't have been open if that intention wasn't put there to begin with. So yeah, it's like one door opens, one door closes. Just gotta put it out into the world.
And so you had just mentioned a couple of minutes ago that you're working on a project with Louis V. You're gonna release that.
Yes, sir.
But you're about to drop a video, right?
Yeah, about to drop it. We shot it already a few
POTUS.
weeks ago. POTUS.
Yeah.
Lotus Hill running for president. Yeah, man. Shout out to Divisions and the whole squad.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be coming out in like a week or two. Putting the final touches on it. Really good video. I'm excited for the world to see it.
Would you run for president in reality? This is not like a campaign announcement, but
It might be. Nah, it's
it
not.
might be.
No, it's not. I don't think so, man.
No.
I was never really that much of a political guy. I would like to do things in the community to help on a grand scale eventually, but to be president of the United States, like literally,
You probably lose
Shit,
all.
man.
You probably lose all that hair, bro.
Yeah,
in
man.
a couple
Like,
years.
you've seen the pictures of the presidents who go in and
Obama,
then they come out
when he first
Yeah.
came in.
Yeah, it's like their faces, like, I mean, and rightfully so. Like,
Yeah.
you get to learn a whole bunch of shit, like, you can't even talk about. Like, you go through a whole bunch of stress of the
Yeah.
world. Like, hey, man, what are you going to do? You're the president. You have to do. So it's like, I can understand how stress. I don't know if I'm built for all that. I'll do it in different ways where I can still help people on a grander scale, face to face, and let it exponentially just, domino effect to everybody else, man.
So you got the project coming. Do you have a name for the project that you can give us?
Yeah, it's called Bouquet.
Bouquet. All
And
right.
that's the one with me and Louis V. And then later on in the year, me and Two Down.
Two Down. Okay, Two Down music.
Shout
Yeah,
out Two Down.
dope.
We got a project dropping too, called Downhill, that we shot a couple videos for, and we got some singles.
So
out, so
you're coming full circle because you did King of the Hill. Now you so down.
King
In
of
a
the Hill,
sense,
Downhill.
everything comes in full circle. That's
Yeah, man.
dope, bro. And it's the energy that you put behind the intention. We're learning here, folks. We're
Facts, man.
we're
Circle
dropping
of life.
gems, dude.
Circle of life out here.
Would you ever like write another book? Is that something that you would like to do too?
I would.
Yeah.
I would. I don't know if it would be a kid's book, or maybe, I don't know if it would be a kid's book as simple as that one. Because that one was very simple, but I purposely wanted to make it simple. Because I wanted, like preschool to, like, kindergarten, first grade. Like, kids who can kind of read, but can preschoolers read? Yeah. I don't know, but the younger, but the younger kids, like,
Yeah, right,
just simple stuff that they can enjoy
Simple
while
stuff,
reading.
yeah.
But then, the next one I would want like a self-help book for like maybe high schoolers or just people our age or anybody, like any age of anybody who can understand it. Like that would be the next step. Kind of like my homie Casey Render has some books that he put out about his journey.
Nice.
Russ, Russ the rapper. He
Yeah,
got that book, Jay-Z's book.
Yeah.
Just that type of stuff. Like stuff where you can put gems inside a book and help other people or tell your story or just, it depends whether it be autobiography related or self-help related. But I would like to do another book. in the future. Yeah.
Any shout outs you want to give before we wrap it up here?
Hell yeah,
The time
man.
has flown by. It's incredible.
Man, shout out to my mama and my papa
You raised them. You guys
and my
raised
brother
them right.
and my sister. Shout out to who else? Shout out to you. Thank you,
bro.
for
Thank
having me, man. And Roots Miami Kava Bar.
Yeah.
To Pablo.
Yeah. But
We got
shout out.
Timeless dropping soon.
Yeah, that's right.
That's just gonna be a straight bop.
Yeah,
That shit's
man.
a straight bop.
They just got to get the overdubs right, you know, switch some things here and there.
Nah, we gonna
When
get
that
it right.
mix is ready, I'm going to send it to you, bro, and
For
it's
sure.
going to be dope.
And yeah, that's pretty much it right now.
Oh,
All I can think of
I'll
for
drink to
shout-outs.
that, bro. I'll
Yeah.
drink to Timeless. I'll drink to your next book, your
Thank
next
you, brother.
project. All right, guys. So there you have it. Mr. Lotus Hill has dropped by here at Roots Miami Kava, which we are now open regular hours, man. Just stop by. Every Wednesday we have our open mic. Definitely check that out. Sign up. You got to be here early. At least, 6 o'clock, maybe 5:30, 5:45, because
Yeah.
that list gets filled up fast, man.
Yeah, they jump on that list.
Yeah. All right, guys. Peace out.